This morning I will be joined by Pastor Stanford Simon as we talk about Lent, just around 7:15. Thank you, Lord, in advance for the breakthroughs, the second chances, and all the goodies that you bless me with. Good morning to you, Roger. How are you doing, bro?
Money don't wait until you get plenty. Thank him for your life, cause you're living, walking and healthy. Thank him in advance, don't wait. Thank him in advance, don't wait. Thank him for your healing.
It's 30 minutes after 6 o'clock, actually.
Day and night you study. Thank him in advance, don't wait. Thank him in advance, don't wait. Thank him in advance, thank him in advance.
And while we're being thankful, let's be thankful for this health tip. We continue our look at gastroenteritis. Now, this is day 3, right? So this is a third tip for the week. Remember, on Friday, Good Friday, yeah. Still have the quiz, right? It says gastro is an acute illness and most persons may recover very quickly without using medication. However, dehydration can be harmful and precautions should be taken to prevent damage to your organs, especially the brain and the kidneys. Signs of dehydration include dry mouth, dry skin, mental confusion, and or dark urine. Oral rehydration, salts or liquids that contain electrolytes such as coconut water or various branded rehydration fluids are often used to treat dehydration due to diarrhea and vomiting. And that has been your Hills and Valley health tip for today, Wednesday. We've got another one tomorrow if the good Lord spare. So let me just repeat this tip this morning. Gastro is an acute illness and most persons may recover very quickly without using medication. However, dehydration can be harmful and precautions should be taken to prevent damage to your organs, especially the brain and kidneys. Signs of dehydration include dry mouth, dry skin, mental confusion, and or dark urine. Oral rehydration salts or liquids that contain electrolytes such as coconut water or various branded rehydration fluids are often used to treat dehydration due to diarrhea and vomiting. And that has been your Hills and Valley health tip for the day today. So if you remembered yesterday, we looked at what you should do with when you have gastro. Remember the acronym GAS, GASS. Monday we looked at what gastroenteritis is. Yep. So remember them, and on Friday we'll have the quiz. It's 27 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Let's see what's happening on our Facebook page. Mary Banks is there. Good morning, Mary. Michelle Bernard says, good morning, Mr. Gordon. Good morning, Michelle. Jillian McIntyre, good morning, Mr. Joseph. Happy Wednesday, same to you. Sylvina Charles, good morning, Innocent. Have a blessed day, you too, my dear. Barbara Charles, good morning. Thank God for allowing me to see another day with all my families. All right, Yulin Alexander is there as usual. Good morning, Gordon. Good morning to everyone. Blessings for a wonderful Wednesday. Have a great, safe day, everyone, all the way from New York. Mildred Smith, good morning, Mr. Gordon, and to my beautiful people of the Tri-Island State. Good morning to you, Mildred. Nika Reese, good morning to everyone that tune in today. And Yvonne Courtney, happy Wednesday morning to you, Innocent. Same to you, my dear friend. Let's see what's happening on our WhatsApp page. Okay, it says here, good morning, Mr. Joseph, how are you? Can you tell me if the character games will be broadcast live or via pay-per-view? If so, can I get the link where to pay? Please, thank you. Okay, I'll look into that and pass that information for you as soon as I possibly can. All right. Margaret Alexander, good morning. Mr. Joseph, good morning. My fellow Grenadians, good morning to you, Margaret. Okay, folks, so let's get to the program. 25 minutes on to 7. And as I said today, I will be joined by Pastor Stanford Simon as we look at what Lent is all about, and the do's and don'ts and all the things that surround Lent, what happened eons of years ago as we continue to celebrate Holy Week. Good morning to all the Catholics, the Anglicans, and those of you who participate in this. So we'll be talking a bit about that this morning, just for a brief moment, of course. You heard in the news yesterday, Bishop Harvey was talking about, that sort of generational gap that, the generation today, look at it differently. They're not well taught about it. So we'll look for some clarity and some clarification on Lent and what it's all about. But it's now time for the word of the day. And the word of the day today is a describing word, meaning it's an adjective. And that word is auxiliary. Auxiliary. All right? A-U-X-I-L-I-A-R-Y. Auxiliary. Now, in general use, auxiliary describes someone as something available to provide extra help, power, etc. when it is needed. In linguistics, an auxiliary verb, also called a helping verb, is used with another verb to do things like show a verb's tense or form a question. In nautical context, auxiliary can describe a sailboat equipped with a supplementary inboard engine or a vessel that provides supplementary assistance to other ships. So remember the word auxiliary. A-U-X-I-L-I-A-R-Y. Auxiliary. All right, and here's how we can use the word. The auditorium has an auxiliary cooling system used only on particular sweltering days. That's one way to use it. Good. 22 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Time to say good morning to Nadisha and the folks in Cafe and surrounding areas, Pomeroy's, Mount Agnes. When I'm up there, I've got to say good morning to the MacMeos. Good morning, good morning. Yeah. Good morning, Esther and family. All the wonderful folks at Mount Agnes. Good morning, good morning. Apretut, good morning. Yep. Latant and Pomerose, good morning. Croshoe. Bacolet, good morning to Debbie. And also Kitty Cat and family. Swinging to the left and taking that incline, go up to Mama Can. Good morning, Mama Can. Rastiba and family, good morning to you. Mami Lyris, good morning. Moyaki and family. And all the wonderful folks up at Mama Can. King Menajamo is not here. I think he's in Virginia at the moment, I think. But nonetheless, it's time for the thought of the day. And it says, I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples. I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples. In essence, what it's saying is that everyone has their role to play and nobody else can do your part for you. You've got to do your part, you know? We have a lot of folks being envious and jealous of other people's accomplishments and professions and so forth. Could you imagine if everybody were doctors, or if everybody were lawyers or policemen or bus drivers? Then what would the world be like? It doesn't matter what you are or who you are or what you do. You have a role to play, you know? Could you imagine what the mornings would be like if Innocent is not on Good Morning Grenada? That song boastful, but no, it's not, you know? Everybody's got their role to play, man. That's my passion. I love doing it. There might be folks who are better than me, but I enjoy it. Okay, folks, let's go on to what's buzzing this morning at 20 minutes on to 7 o'clock. We know on the 4th of May, Saturday the 4th of May, as the Jamaicans would say, big things are going. Good morning to the Jamaicans in the building. Miss Karen Brown and Miss Benieve and so forth. Yeah, big things are going in Progress Park as the Maggie King of the Grill comes to Progress Park on Saturday, the 4th of May. All right, Susan Douglas and family, good morning. Susan, I know you're going to have your special corn thing, you know. Susan is a specialist with corn. She might just barbecue some corn for us. Susan, you good? Yeah, long time no see. Morning to the folks in Paradise and Lakabeke and Lafayette and Mount Horn. The fat man Darius, good morning, and the slim man Messi, good morning. The Romaine family, Stalin Romaine, Uncle Eiffel, good morning. Paraclete, good morning. Brady, Ashley Cummings, good morning to you and family, man. Hope you're doing fine. Hope all is well. All right, also buzzing this morning. Well, that's already in the news. You know, the low-income houses in Corinth, they have started to be distributed to prospective owners. It's about time, man. The houses were built a while now, and all that were living in it was nothing and nobody. Good morning, Corinth. Inspector Leon McQueen and family, good morning. The Josephs next door. Rashiba, good morning to you. Toya, good morning. Zilon, what's up, bro? And AJ. The folks up at the Moai, and know the Moai is going to be a big buzz on Friday. Every Good Friday, they have the big kite flying event up there. And a lot of food. Yeah, I want roll rice and stew peas and stew meat. I get a pea soup too, that would be nice. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so there are some other things buzzing, you know, especially on the regional front. I really thought that issue with Guyana and Venezuela got resolved already, but Venezuela is making some moves, and Guyana is, you know, appealing to governments around the world, legislators around the world, to condemn the actions of Guyana. Also buzzing, we heard that 90-day gun amnesty was proposed in Parliament yesterday. Carifta Games, the countdown begins. It's just a matter of 4 days away. Yeah. While Jamaica and the Bahamas and those places come with a big contingent, I know our little Grenadians, they are going to give a good account of themselves. We all look forward to that with bated breath. Also hearing that 5 Chinese nationals among 6 people killed in a suicide bomb attack in Pakistan. In the season of Ramadan. What's going on there? There seems to be some friction with Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the U.S. The U.S. abstained on a vote in the UN Security Council day before, insisting on immediate ceasefire. That's really creating a buzz, man. That's, you know, I mean, come on. There are folks for and some against, you know, the actions of Israel. You know, from October the 7th, that's when the action started, man. And it's over 32,000 people have been killed in Gaza already. Master Trooper, greetings and salutation. Tasha Bailey, good morning to the Bailey family in Grenada from Natasha. Good morning, Natasha. Paulin Barreto says, good morning, everyone. Marilyn Gordon, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Gordon. Nice. Good. So it's all happening here on Classic. Good morning. How are you, Erlin? Good morning all the way out in the U.S. Hope you're doing fine. Yeah, I usually call her wifey. You're good? Nice. Blessings. Okay, so lady, my good friend out there, my past teacher friend, I will seek some information on that and have it announced so that you can know how you can be a part of the Carifta Games, all right? Jasmine Dewati Dansham. Good morning to everyone. Nice guy, and he's here to be. Tony GT, yeah, morning from London. GT live in London. Me and my family. Grenada is a beautiful island, yeah. Come home, papi. It's 14 minutes on to 7 o'clock. We've got to take that break because it's time for the AM edition of News, Sports, and the Weather. Those of you who are on the television platform, we've got a rebroadcast of last evening's television news. Stick and stay with us. We'll be back after the news.
When you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. Oh, I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, yes, just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide, the light that shines our way. Wherever you road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next time, right next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
5 families in St. Patrick faced utter devastation on Tuesday morning as a fierce fire engulfed their homes, leaving them displaced and in urgent need of assistance. Rena Pierre-Thomas was on the scene and filed this report.
The blaze, which erupted around mid-morning Tuesday, tore through 5 homes in Chantimel, St. Patrick, consuming everything in its path and leaving behind a scene of charred debris and despair. A 6th house was partially damaged by the flames. When the GBN news team arrived, firefighters were on the scene battling the flame under control to prevent further spread to neighboring properties. Among those affected is Miss Ricklin Barry, who lost her home and belongings in the blaze. She explained that she got a call while on work that her home was on fire.
They called me and told me my house is on fire. So I asked what happened, how the house managed to catch fire. They said the neighbor house catch fire and it take me spouting and it go through the roof. Everything go to ashes. And I don't know how I'm handling it. Because it's not easy to work so hard and then you have nothing, So I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where to start right about now. Well, I would like to, if the minister and social services or whoever, whatever ministry could help, I would be very grateful. Because it's not easy now to be homeless in times like these.
One eyewitness told GBN News that she was on her way out when she heard 3 children screaming, "Fire, fire."
I passed and I was going up, and 3 children ran up by the school. And they said, "Fire, fire, call the fire truck, where the police?" But I did not ask them where the fire is. When I reached higher up, the neighbor called and she said, "Fire, don't know what to say the fire." When we come, this house in front here did not catch fire as yet. It take them half an hour before a fire truck could have come. And when it come, he could not have saved this one. This one was already burned.
One of the neighbors who called 911 expressed her dissatisfaction with resources that are available in the parish to fight fires. In her opinion, at least one home could have been saved.
When I reach here, fire everywhere. Fire. When I tell you fire, fire to eat human. The small water fire truck came. could not have helped. Because if it was working properly, that last house there, you would not have burned. Instead of the water coming through the hose, it was falling from underneath. So it was real fire, and the other two take so long when we really need the help. We couldn't do nothing because the water, didn't have water. I then think he tried to turn on the hose, but the water was too low, so he couldn't go anywhere. Well, that was fire. A lot of fire. 5 houses in a short space of time. What is man? What are they going to say? We have to try and see what we could do.
The fire left 17 persons homeless, including children with special needs. GBN also understood that a female was rushed for medical care due to the shock of the devastating event. Rena Thomas, GBN News.
Meanwhile, members of the Royal Grenada Police Force are investigating the cause of the fire and assessing the extent of the damage to determine the long-term needs of the affected families, who are now grappling with the daunting task of rebuilding their lives. Assistant Commissioner of Police Vanny Kerwin revealed that he was initially told that only 3 houses were on fire, only to arrive on scene to see that the extent of the damage was much worse than initially thought.
Call about an hour and a half ago. Another time, I was told that there were 3 houses on fire. I left my office at Fort George and made my way all the way to Chantemel, only to get here now and realize that we have lost 5 houses, and so 17 people are displaced. 17 members of these families are displaced. It is sad, it is tragic, but fortunately no one has lost their lives, and we have God to thank for that. I have been in touch with some of the parliamentary people here. I've spoken to some of the social services workers. I understand the MP for the area is on his way here, so I'm going to remain until I am certain as to what is going to be happening with these families.
Parliamentary Representative for St. Patrick West, Joseph Andal, on his way to visit the victims of the fire, explained that his first line of business is to provide mental and social support for the affected families.
My first concern is to ensure that the people who are affected by this tragedy, that their immediate physical and psychosocial needs are taken care of. It must be a very traumatic experience for them, losing everything. In some cases, there are sick people who have lost their medication. So the immediate priority is to try to assist them in being relocated. I've already contacted the chairman of the Housing Authority with a view to activating some of the units at the Chinese-built villa housing project. They have also contacted the utility companies, Grenada and Nawasa, with a view to ensuring that the areas that the units are habitable as soon as possible.
The minister was granted special leave in the House of Parliament today after the news of the fire reached him. Member of Parliament for the constituency of St. Patrick West, Joseph Andal, rushed out of the House of Parliament prematurely on Tuesday following news of the fire emergency in his constituency. During the morning session, the MP was informed that multiple houses were on fire in Chantemel, St. Patrick. GBN was informed that all 5 houses were totally destroyed. MP for the town of St. George, Peter David, expressed his regrets about the incident.
Explain, Mr. Speaker, to seek your permission for the departure of the MP for St. Patrick West. I think he's been informed that there's 5 or 6 houses that are on fire in Chantemel at the moment. And given the pictures of what he said to me, I told him I thought it would be appropriate that we seek your leave to have an excuse to at least show support to the families who've been impacted by it. I think the fire is actually raging as we speak. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister. Quite in order. Honourable MP for Town St. George.
Mr. Speaker, let me say I wish the member for St. Patrick West well as he ventures to St. Patrick, and I hope the families are safe and we can all assist in whatever problems they are. So let me just express my deepest best wishes to them.
January 2024 was the initial completion date for the Molinaire Road project. However, due to unforeseen challenges which forced many delays, it's now estimated that the project should be completed and opened by the last quarter of this year.
Prime Minister and Minister for Infrastructure, Honorable Deacon Mitchell, while addressing deplorable road conditions throughout the country, blamed the inadequate supply of asphalt and unavailability of appropriate and necessary tools as hindrances to conduct extensive repairs and proper road maintenance. The Prime Minister, in his presentation during Parliament on Tuesday, said they have now made different arrangements.
We are in the process of devising a system that will allow us, first of all, to increase our capacity to obtain asphalt, so that the crews that maintain our road, in fact, have the materials they need to deploy to engage in more extensive repairs and maintenance of our roads. We have procured bitumen from Trinidad and Tobago in partnership with the Chinese who are at the airport currently, Mr. Speaker, who have a large asphalt plant. We've supplied the bitumen. We have procured many of the aggregates. We have procured the warmer. We are going through the testing phase. And so we expect once the appropriate tests are conducted in terms of the asphalt mix and quality, that our crews will therefore have access to a lot more asphalt in more predictable quantities, so that we can engage in more extensive road repair throughout the trial and state of East Martin Caribbean.
The Prime Minister, while highlighting steps taken by the Ministry of Infrastructure to enhance the road maintenance, also disclosed that the Molyneux Road project should be completed by the last quarter of this year. Throughout the construction phase, the project suffered many setbacks as the land stabilization became a challenge, which forced a review of the initial design, as it did not take into consideration the slippage from the hilltop.
Work on the Molyneux Road is continuing. We expect the work to complete by the last quarter of 2024. However, all things being equal, the contractor has given a commitment that they will certainly seek to try and accelerate as much as they can the work to see whether or not it is possible to have the road available and open in August or September of this year. But contractually, the obligation is for December.
The Infrastructure Minister explained that restoration work, which was set to begin on the Woburn to Woodlands Main Road yesterday, has been pushed back to next week.
Major artery that work will commence on shortly, Mr. Speaker, is the Cliff to Woburn Road. In fact, the original intent was to stop vehicular access to that area starting this Monday. But in light of the long Easter weekend that is upon us, Mr. Speaker, as well as the Kirsten Games, we've taken the decision to allow access to the road to remain until after the Easter weekend. And we expect that preliminary works for the commencement of major renovation of that piece of road to therefore commence in earnest immediately after the end of the Easter period.
Christina John, GBN News.
The House of Parliament has reviewed and passed the Firearm Amendment Bill 2024, which serves as government's initial step towards combating the issue of gun violence and illegal guns in Grenada. More in this report from Rena Pierre-Thomas.
In a decisive move aimed at enhancing public safety and security, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell fulfilled his commitment to tackle the proliferation of illegal firearms in Grenada. The Firearm Amendment Bill 2024, which was reviewed and approved in Parliament today, March 26th, brings with it a series of measures designed to curb the possession and circulation of illicit weapons. Addressing Parliament, Prime Minister Mitchell underscored the importance of the bill, stating that individuals in possession of illegal firearms will be given a 90-day window to surrender these weapons without facing legal repercussions.
So, Mr. Speaker, the bill seeks to give the minister that power to make the order, but I will go further to say that the parameters of the order are also, in essence, being controlled. So the order or the amnesty period, which is envisaged, will not go beyond 90 days. A person or individual will be allowed to surrender the firearm or the ammunition anonymously. a person or individual would be permitted, if they so desire, to hand over the firearm or ammunition to the attorney at law. And the attorney at law will be permitted to deliver the firearm and ammunition to the police station.
Prime Minister Mitchell emphasized that designated areas will be established for the safe and anonymous drop-off of illegal firearms, ensuring a seamless process for individuals wishing to comply with the law.
The SRO and O, once enacted, will allow for the Commissioner of Police to designate through the Minister the places where the firearms are to be handed over, who is the authorized or designated police officer that it should be handed over, and the receptacle in which the firearm or the ammunition is to be placed.
When the amnesty expires, government will then move to amend the legislation to increase the severity of the punishment for the crime. The Minister for National Security says the issue of illegal firearms is a growing concern in Grenada.
The issue of illegal and unlawful firearms is a troubling and vexing one, and has the potential and ability to significantly derail and destroy our peaceful way of life and our socio-economic development.
The bill serves as a holistic approach to address security concerns and combat the possession of illegal firearms among Grenadians. Rena P. Thomas, GBN News.
The local organizing committee of the 51st CRIFTA Games, scheduled for this weekend, has announced that patrons attending the 3-day meet at the Granny James Athletic Stadium will not be allowed to enter with horns or similar noisemakers. Erin Moses, deputy chairperson of the CRIFTA local organizing committee, explained the rationale behind the ban.
The most important stakeholder is the athlete. They have worked hard, they have trained, and this is their opportunity to shine, to impress, to seek a scholarship, to break records, to do things. And our mission is to ensure that they can do that in a professional environment that is enabling. So specifically, I want to address the ability to start a race professionally, where those athletes should be concentrating, listening to the instructions and when that gun go, to avoid false starts, So they need to be given a fair opportunity to do so.
During the recently held Intercol Championships, one athlete stopped running shortly after a race started because of what sounded like the starter's gun. It was actually the sound from a noisemaker. Moses, who was recently on GBN's Beyond the Headlines, explained that as a result of that experience at Intercol, the local organizing committee took the decision to ban the use of the horns and is appealing to patrons to leave the horns at home.
So we have had to take this decision as the association that is responsible for the development of athletics in Grenada, that it cannot be used at the sport. So this is an appeal to our Grenadians who we want you to be there, we love you to be supporting, but please leave them at home. So parents, make sure your kids do it. Kids, make sure your parents remember. A lot of adults have been doing it.
He said the committee wants to deliver a high-quality event for both the athletes and the patrons.
It's disruptive. It's going to cause a lot of problems. We wouldn't be able to ensure that we have a high-quality games, that the world will respect, that everybody will be happy. But most importantly, we give the athletes an opportunity. This is their day to perform at the highest. So please, let us deliver a great Grenadian experience. We are very hospitable. We are expecting the same things. The games will be, both morning and afternoon.
Following the FIFA World Cup hosted in South Africa in 2010, where the horns made their first appearance, their use at athletic meetings and other sporting events has increased globally. Despite concerns expressed in some quarters, Grenada's investment migration program has not been negatively affected by the United States' decision to implement changes to its criteria for the E2 visa. That's according to Thomas Anthony, Chief Executive Officer of the newly rebranded Investment Migration Agency in Grenada.
There is now a period of domicility that's required, which is 3 years. We have not seen any negative implications where that is concerned. As a matter of fact, the majority of people who choose these programs are not necessarily looking to go into the U.S. They're looking for a second option for their family. They're looking for some sense of security for their family. But the large majority of people are not seeking to get into the U.S. Via the E2 visa.
The United States recently implemented a new federal law restricting foreign investors' access to e-visas by adding a 3-year domicile requirement for those who obtained their citizenship through Citizenship by Investment, or CBI programs. Previously considered a major attraction of the country's investment migration program, the E2 visa grants Grenada citizens the right to live and invest in the U.S. Anthony said the new requirement is not expected to negatively affect Grenada's numbers.
At least not in any significant way. As I said, individuals who choose these programs are about security. So, for example, you live in a country where there is unrest, and at times like that, the nationals are the last people to be allowed to get out. Whereas if you have a second citizenship, then you are more likely to be let on a plane in the first bunch of people who are likely to be. There's also an education reason for people to choose these programs where they would want their children to be exposed to a Western education. I have not seen any statistics that tells me that E2 is any significant part of an individual's decision to take on a second citizenship.
According to statistics from the Ministry of Finance, the total number of CBI applications in 2022 was 1,251, an increase of around 87% from 2020. That trend continued into the first quarter of 2023, with 576 applications to the program, up from just 164 in the first quarter of 2022. At the end of the third quarter of 2023, Grenada received 621 applications. However, only 347 have been approved. An oddly shaped, well-known fruit is the highlight of tonight's GBNI Saw. Let's take a look.
A good eye captures all. GBNI Saw is brought to you by Clearvision.
Captured footage of an oddly shaped cocoa pod. The pod is literally folded so that the ends meet. On the surface, the pod takes on a circular form, but when flipped over, one can see the folded underside. Let us take a look at this quick video. Very interesting there. You can send us your interesting discoveries via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
GRENLEC Community Partnership Initiative.
On behalf of the Grenada Athletic Association, we want to thank GRENLEC for the presentation of their check. This is not the first time that they are supporting our character games. I can remember clearly in 2016 they were part of the celebration. You know that GRENLEC has always supported us in all of our activities, in our development programs. They have been there with us, and we are very thankful for that, and we sincerely hope that we'll be able to keep them as one of our sponsors.
GRENLEC, energizing our community.
Motley. I've been here doing nails
since 2017. Me being self-employed, I have realized that paying the NIS benefits me now and even when I retire. By the time I'm 65, I will be receiving contributions back from NIS. So I benefit because I'm self-employed. Anything can happen. If anything happens to you while you're at work, you've got a bad cold, you have the COVID, you have dengue, we have all these diseases that's plaguing us at the moment. NIS will be giving you back some form of money when you're ill. So I would encourage all small business persons to sign up with NIS now.
Grenada, get ready for the biggest live concert event of the year, Digicel Reggae Fest. Saturday, April 6th, National Stadium. Performing in Grenada for the first time in decades, the Wild Apache Supercast.
Sometimes some of them are rally back. We are road boy, you tell me not take back the chat.
The versatile Busy Signal. Hitmaker Romain Virgo. Pure energy of Anthony B.
Nobody want to plant the can. Everybody wants to.
Live from London, Maxi Priest.
Oh, baby, baby, it's a wide world.
The strong one, Etana.
But I'm not afraid. No.
With our very own Jefferson Ramirez and more. 7 amazing performers. One big stage. One night only. Saturday, April 6th, National Stadium. Get your early bird tickets now for only $120. VIP $500. Limited VVIP $800 at advertised outlets or online at gotofet.com.
Take a miss, I can't because you come from my sit up.
All right, good morning. It's 11 minutes after 7 o'clock, and welcome to the conversation this morning. As I told you earlier, I have with me in studio an ex-officio member of the GBN, Pastor Stanford Simon. He is one of us, and Pastor?
Yeah, one of us. So, brother, I'm here. I'm always here for one reason or another.
All right, and this morning we're here to talk predominantly about the Lenten season and into Easter and so forth. We had some remarks from Bishop Harvey earlier in the week that, you know, you think that the celebration got lost within the generations. What's your take on that?
No, it's true. It's true. We haven't brought it forward. I think this generation has failed tremendously in many of the things that we have brought forward. But I was speaking to our headmaster, Mr. Ashby, yesterday. We were in the bank. He was talking, and he was sharing about what the biggest danger to us as society is the cellular phone, where there is the culture, the local culture is being eroded by a global culture, and in that it is destroying the fabric of the society, where our young people are more glued to what's happening outside of the country than inside of the country, and where Grenada do not have a very strong cultural base. You find in Carriacou a lot of things are still culturally there, and it's a norm because people from Carriacou, people from natives of Carriacou hold dear to the cultural base, no matter where they go in the world. And coming back home is always a great thing for them. And they have what happening in Carriacou now?
Maroon Festival. That's a big thing in Carriacou, which used to be a big thing in Grenada. But we have lost it. But Carriacou still holds on to it. And when you come to the church itself, I was saying to my worship leaders, all you're singing too much choruses. And so you have to work with them because as young people, you can't just come down and put a hard because you're going to lose them. So I have worked with them and saying, listen, there are too many choruses being sung on Sunday morning. And it took them a while to finally get it.
But I had to do it that way. Some people feel, Pastor, you should know, because you have to bring them with you. You have to carry them with you. And finally, one of them was saying to me this week, I really get it. I really get it. Because they realize how important chorus is. You sing them, but they go away. It's a line and a hook, right?
Yeah.
Like the soca, right? Like the soca.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But hymns, it resonates with you, but it somewhere in your mind it stay, and it really sink in, and therefore it lasts. And what has happened? We have pulled our children away from Sunday school. We have pulled our children from going to church. We have pulled our children away from getting up in the morning, make sure they read their Bible or say their prayer before they go to bed. In our schools, that was the norm. You listen, you pray in the morning.
Yeah.
Before you go for lunch.
Grace before meals.
Grace before meals. Just say that before you leave the class.
After meals.
When you come back from the class, from eating lunch, you say a prayer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was norm for us. All those things are now out of our school system. Most of it, not all of them, in all the schools are more out than in, and therefore the impact then, see how that is filtering down. Our grandmothers have gotten younger and younger, where our grandmothers used to make sure there's certain things that we do. Our young grandmothers now in their 30s, right?
Yeah.
All right, and now, as I said in my sermon on Sunday, you have the younger, the mothers are competing with their daughters for attention in the way they dress.
Oh, wow.
Now, when you put that all together and look at how our society is functioning, you realize that we have a serious problem.
How do we remedy it?
How do we I do not believe we could remedy it. I believe we could save some of our young people. I think with the way the world is going, we can't fix this. Is what the Bible says would happen. So we could save some of them. And that's why at our church, if you think about the Lenten season and think about Easter, we, teach your children and our children about Easter. And that's why our church is putting heavy emphasis on our children church and our development of how do we help our children to understand what they believe in. Listen, it has some kids at our church, unbelievably talking on the 10, say them, and they're serious about getting baptized. They give their life to Christ, and they're serious. One of them came to me on Sunday and said, after service, Pastor, when are we having baptism?
Okay.
So, but it's because we are teaching these children about God, and they could talk, they could have a conversation with you, because we are emphasizing that. Now, in many homes, that has not been emphasized. Many churches, children churches, not been emphasized. We focus on the adult. That is helping us to lose the next generation. And for us as a church, it's critically important. We are now putting huge emphasis as a church on children. We want to have, sooner we announced to Grenada a children program that we'll be having on Saturdays, specifically geared towards reaching children along with what we're doing. So we could save some, but we can't save all.
Now, focusing on the season itself, how significant is this period, this 40-day period that we call Lent? In the Christian society, how significant?
But it is important. But again, going back to the point, we have lost the meaningfulness of it because many Christians don't even recognize it. If you ask many Christians about the 40 days, the Catholics celebrate it in a real way, and in many ways, there are some of us who wish that our churches had that tradition as the Catholic had, where 40 days before their Pacific, they're having service every day. 40 days. My good friend Margaret Strawn, she said, Pastor, I go to church in the morning, I go to church in the evening. It is part of her makeup. She said they have so put the Catholic thing in me that it's hard for me to get it out. In other words, and that going back to being a child. So the emphasis of, I think, re-establishing and the evangelical church is getting on board and beginning to recognize the 40 days of Lent, or begin to recognize leading up to that period in whatever way you want to do it, but educating your people about the importance of the death, burial, and resurrection of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Easter is a serious part and the foundation of the Christian faith when it comes to the New Testament. Remove the Lord death, burial, and resurrection, you don't have a New Testament. You have a problem. So we as a church, evangelical churches, I think, do not put enough emphasis on the importance of Lent and the importance of Easter. And therefore, we are finding ourselves in a position where we are crippling ourselves and our future generation, because it's getting less and less and less. If you go to many churches now, the average is over 30, the people in church. You're not seeing you may see the before 10 or before 16, but after 16 to 30. That age group there, we are losing them.
That's a generation gap. Huh?
That's a generation gap, and we are losing them. And I do not believe that we are putting enough emphasis and planning to be able to recapture or get them into the church as we used to. So we have a problem. We have a problem. I mean, I recognize it. St. George's Baptist recognize it, and that's why we are doing things. Our church vision, building communities to become the model for winning people to Christ. That's why we're working with the sports club in St. David. That is why we're working with the football team up in Rose Hill. That is why we put our emphasis on community things that we are doing, which is the different radio and television. That's why we are doing the things that we're doing, because we recognize that we need to do much more than in our four walls, or go out on a Sunday evening and witness, or just stay on the radio and say that Jesus saved and He coming again. It is much more than that. We also want to reach out to have a football team in Montu, and I promised the gentleman I would come, and I have not been able to. And if he's listening, I want to promise him that I'm coming. Him I'm coming, because I think we need to spend a lot more time with that younger group of people to help us. We can't save all, but we can save some.
Okay. One of the things that I've noticed, and I mean, if people are paying particular attention, it seems that the church that you lead is very proactive in a number of ways. It's multi-pronged. For example, I think you just had a group of medical professionals here.
Yes, we've been doing it for 4 years now. The biggest group, you have 68 persons from the U.S. And again, when that relationship started, I told them I don't want a relationship where you come and do a mission team and go, a mission trip and go. If you want to have a relationship long term, yes, I am interested, because there are many persons come to us and say they want to do a mission trip. No, I'm not interested in that. I want to do something that could build capacity to empower people and to help them. That's what I want to do. So you benefit by bringing your people and they come and do a mission. We benefit by what you're bringing to us. And both of us could learn together to build capacity and create something very unique. In the past 4 years, that's what we have done with our people there. Looking the Grenada Medical Mission, led by Dr. Sexton, Tyler Sexton, his father, Kevin Sexton, play a critical role in that. But we have Grace City Church, which is very much a part of that. And pulling together, we see that we are doing something unique. We saw over 1,500 persons in 4.5 days. Right.
And what were the services,
general service, women care, wound care, general health. I mean, there's so many things that they have done and impacted a lot of them. Matter of fact, they have left and they make packages for people with medication, persons who couldn't find the medication at the pharmacy. They were able to come there and got. Matter of fact, some pharmacies send persons that say, we don't have it, check them and see and they had it. Some of them get a year's supply or 6 months supply of medication. So that to me is what we are doing. And 2025 we will be doing 2 missions, one in Grenada at St. George's Baptist Church, and the other will be in the Grenadines. So one be on land and one will be on sea. Already talking to my counterpart in St. Vincent, Kingston Baptist Association and the government of St. Vincent. That's the plan, to be able to do one in all the Grenadines Islands, from Carriacou, Beckway, Canouan, Union Island, Palm Island, to be able to do all the islands and do something there. So again, that was a success, because we tell you about going to heaven, but we had to help you out to live here on earth. How do you live healthy? And remember, we come out before the pandemic. We had once a month we used to have a doctor doing a presentation on health. So it's not just telling people about their health, bringing people to serve, but how do you have a long-term plan to help your people to live healthier? And that is critical. And we have been achieving that because we have reached a lot of lives and impact a lot of people in that way. I must say, and with the help of the government's a critical part of this one, because the government, the medication, and so they bought a 40-foot container, 500 and something boxes of medication. Wow. And when it was finished, we give to the general hospital and we share it to the clinic. So it wasn't kept. Okay. So that in itself, like you said, we multifaceted in how we look at a complete health, both spiritual and physical, and it's important.
Okay. And redemption is another milestone.
But yeah, we remember last year we went around the island once a month, the last Sunday in every month. We went to every parish, and then we told Carriacou we couldn't come, but then we're looking to go to Carriacou as we promised them in May. That's the 19th. We will be there on that weekend, and we're excited about it, and we are planning now to be on the tennis court there in May 19th, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and to have the Ajamo would be there, the worship team. We're looking for a great time. It's the final one, so we're looking to have a great time of celebration, and the artists that we have, local people, and to be able to bring something really good to Carriacou. We're really excited about that. I want to tell Carriacou we're coming.
What's the date?
May 19th. That's the date. So that weekend we will be heading to Carriacou, and we invite in the general public, whoever want to go with us to Carriacou for the redemption. There's the jerseys available at we have a gift shop at the St. George's Baptist Church now. Persons selling these jerseys, so you can go there and buy your t-shirt to be able to be part of the team and part of the weekend. And again, when last, a lot of people haven't gone to Carriacou in a long time. Some have never went to Carriacou. This is a great opportunity for them to go to see Carriacou and also to do ministry. So it matter the church, if you go to church or not, it matter. If you're interested in going, come and join us and be a part of it. Pick up your jersey at St. George's Baptist Church, and we have a gift shop there. You can purchase that. But I think the holistic picture for us, again, is working with churches. This is not about us, but to be able to reach out to the churches in Carriacou, reach out to them to speak to them. That's one of the things that we will be doing, and to get them on board, because if people give their life to Christ, where do they go? They can't come to Grenada. Therefore, if persons want help, where do they go? They have to go to the churches there in Carriacou. So important for us to be able to reach out and reach out to the churches there.
I know with the redemption program that you had, it was intended to be a very engaging platform where you engage other denominations to come on board. Well, the final episode of Redemption is going to be on the 19th of May, as you're saying.
Yes.
Cool. But for 2025, are you going to continue, maybe in a different way, maybe not Redemption again, but through other avenues to try and engage the other churches to...
Well, of course. Listen, that's very true. The engagement of the church have to come from the leaders. The pastors have to want this. And two things. One, leadership. We must develop that second tier of leadership. There are too many churches are dying because and losing its leader, and then there is not a second tier of leadership that is developing.
The same could be said for some political parties.
Well, the same can be said, right? But that's a problem we have. It is a bad problem. And we need to fix it, because if you don't fix it, it means if you look 20 years down the road, a lot of churches going to be in trouble. Maybe 10, it could be less than that, because some pastors are 55, 60 years old, and they cannot see the next generation of leaders emerging, because most of the people who are worship leading and involved in church are in their 50s and 60s too, and they're not bringing in the younger people to train and teach them and stand back a bit. And that's what, if you look at our church, you see that's what we're trying to do. There is a lot of young people constantly, and now we introduce 2 of our young people now to worship lead. So constantly we're bringing them up. That's one. 2, we also want to do some mission work. One of the places I want to go back is Africa. Want to be able to take persons, because people need to see outside of Grenada, Christian, and a lot of times people only see within the country and don't understand. They need to see what's happening in Africa. Africa is one of the greatest revival is happening in Africa, and people need to go there to see and understand poverty, to see what true poverty is, And then secondly, to see what God is doing in Africa. It's important. I head into Nigeria in July. I'm going there for, I think, 2 weeks. I come back, and I'm also flying to Kenya and South Africa because I want to be with the friends I have there now to trying to plan for 2025, 2026. It all depends on the response and how they see it. What date would be best. So that's a big thing. I hope a number of people would go there. But I think outside of that, I think is more or less trying to get the churches to come on board to be able to work together to achieve something unique. And what is unique, I think, is for us to help people to see not denomination and church, but see Jesus Christ. And see my Seventh Adventist friend, my Catholic friends, my Presbyterian friend, my Pentecostal friends. How can we come together, find a common ground to effectively share the gospel, to be able to deliver it in a unique way? One of the problems our churches is facing too, our churches have not in Grenada have not come up to using technology properly.
Okay, they're getting left behind.
Left behind, right? Right, left behind. And before, I remember we were saying to churches, hey, when the pandemic strike, our church was ready because we have been preparing. Right, we are now preparing for the next generation. You have now the artificial intelligence. How are you going to use that to the benefit of the church? People, you can't be afraid of these things. The reality is what is, and for me, it's thinking through how can you use that. But the churches need now to develop their media ministry to be able to reach, because most churches don't want to invest in that, and it's part of the problem. So our hope is to help. And to be there and to be supportive. And 2025 will be a year, I think, for our church, though, but we are very much focused. We want to pull back a bit and focus on certain things in our church, because we have been out for the last 2 years.
Okay. All right, so now we're wrapping up. Just the last few days that are left in the Lenten season, what can you encourage us as a people to do?
Well, I want person to spend time reflecting on their life and why Christ died. For instance, for the next 90 days, we started 2 weeks ago. Our church is having all our members, we encourage them to get up 5 o'clock in the morning and pray. In the first month, we're praying for our leaders, for our churches, for our church, and the other people we encourage to pray for their church and their leaders. That's what we're doing for the first month. That would end just about the middle of next month. So April. That's one. Secondly, we're meeting on Thursday night from 7 o'clock to 8:30 to pray together as a church. I'm encouraging people to come and join us, but also encouraging person to pray with their family. Now, it goes beyond just thinking about the Lent, but how can you impact people's lives looking at Lent or death of Jesus Christ, like Good Friday. Our Baptist church is having a service at the St. George's Baptist Church at 9 o'clock where we meet to celebrate and have communion together as churches. But I think more than that, how can we reflect on the importance of Christ's death, why he died? Why is it that we celebrate Easter? Why is it that the church is losing its impact on the society? Because the church has pulled back. And the church now settled within the four walls of its church, and people are comfortable. That then creates a danger, because the world then gone out and do its own thing, and there is nobody to stand up and say you're wrong, because we are afraid.
Yeah.
And I think that is part of the problem.
Okay. Before you go, Mildred Smith says, Pastor Stanford Simon, good morning.
Good morning to you, Mildred. Yeah. Good morning. God bless you. God bless you. But even before God, the folks who lost their home in Chantemelle, that's where my family originally from, the Simon.
Okay.
And I just want to send out, it's very hard for people to lose their home and things like that. And we as a church would see what we can do to help, because we know how difficult and challenging it is for persons, but we know that they'll make it, and our prayers and thoughts go out with the family there that are struggling. And it's never easy, but I think it's important to let them know that there is hope. Despite there is something better would come out of this for them and their families.
Okay. Thanks as always, Pastor Stanford Simon. Enjoy the rest of your Lenten season. Folks, we have been speaking with Pastor Stanford Simon of the St. George's Baptist Church as he gives his perspective on Lent and so forth. We take a commercial break. We'll be back with the conversation after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
Saturday, May 4th, there will be a shift on the island as the biggest grilling fest in Grenada moves to the big parish. The Maggie King of the Grill competition is at Progress Park, St. Andrew. Come taste the most sumptuous creations from the grill as top chefs and food enthusiasts showcase their culinary skills. Maggie King of the Grill is a festival like no other with live soca music, fun attractions, and games for the entire family. Then from 6 p.m., get a chance to win up to $5,000 cash and bingo. Interested vendors and grillers should call 456-3454 to register before March 31st. It's the Maggie King of the Grill competition at Progress Park, St. Andrew. Gates open from 12 noon. Bring your appetite and stay tuned to this station for more details.
From the fertile heart of Grenada to the far reaches of the globe, Ram's Supermarket brings together the best of both worlds. Savor the freshest, locally sourced produce from our trusted Grenadian farmers and explore a curated selection of top-quality international favorites. Experience a shopping journey where warmth meets a world of flavors and affordability meets premium quality. At Rams, we welcome everyone to discover the joy of global and local culinary delights. Nestled in Sugar Mill, Grand Anse, we are open all week to offer you a taste of home and beyond. Rams Supermarket, where our family, community, and the world come together. We are the good food people.
On Palm Sunday, Jesus rode on a donkey into Jerusalem and was acclaimed as the Messiah, the Savior. Judas betrayed Christ on Wednesday. Holy Thursday was the day of the Last Supper. Good Friday is the day of his suffering and crucifixion. On Holy Saturday night, we gather in Vale to await the resurrection. On Sunday, he rose from the dead. Easter Sunday is the most important day in the Christian calendar, celebrating the resurrection of Christ and his victory over sin and death. Don't absent yourself from the celebration of these days. Your participation during this Holy Week and Easter Sunday is an opportunity to deepen your faith. Connect to your community, celebrate the central beliefs of Christianity, and draw closer to the heart of the Christian faith.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners, to the conversation. And, my heart really does go to the folks in Chantemelle that lost, all their possessions and so forth. As, let's look for the positive out of this. I heard some comments from some of the, the folks, and one of the concerns they had was the reaction time by the, the relevant authorities as it relates to, extinguishing the fire. Let's go to the telephone line and say good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thank you very much for taking my call.
Welcome to the program.
I'm sorry that I couldn't get across to Pastor Stanford Simon. I wanted to engage with him a bit. I had a few questions I wanted to ask. But one of the major questions that I just want to find out is the idea of Jesus Christ crucified on a cross or slew and hung on a tree. That has been a thing in my mind from both. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, caller. Thank you. Why did Jesus Christ die on a cross and slid on a tree? I think these things should be might be taught in Sunday school. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Joseph, sir.
Hi, welcome.
You know, I was taken aback that you didn't accept calls on Mr. Simon's presence there. Because I have a little question for him. I know he's listening. Mr. Simon, the next time you come around, I'd like you to make some deliberations on this. I'm very much interested, as you are, to help to rebuild the confidence of the population in the biblical teachings as presented by the church and otherwise. But I have a curious question. Do you think this has anything to do with the predications in Matthew 23 of the New Testament? I trust that my question is well understood, Mr. Joseph. So many things to talk about in this here country, but I'll be brief. You know, coming through in the news yesterday evening, some comments from one of the people who were present at the scene of that disastrous fire. Oh, this is an extremely sad thing, you know, Mr. Joseph.
Yeah, really.
5 houses in one blow. Anyway, hear this. The comments were in relation to the response time of the Grenada Fire Services and the physical state of the appliances. Did you hear one talk about the water was pouring out below the water instead of going through the hoses? You didn't hear that?
Yeah, I did.
What does that tell you, Mr. Joseph? Improper maintenance, lack of understanding of what preventative maintenance is all about, especially the assets of the state. We have been deficient in this and nobody wants to listen and learn. Millions of dollars go down the road in nonsense. And these are the things we have to pay attention to. Saddens me, Mr. Joseph. It saddens me. It gets me sick. It makes me cry, I'll tell you. But I shan't stop, Mr. Joseph, because I have an idea how we can change this thing around and get the people involved with greater commitment to the country and what we have. But first we have to know who we are. I'll stop here for today. Have a nice day, will you, Mr. Joseph? Sir?
Thank you, caller. Have a good one yourself, yeah? Have a good one yourself. Folks, it's 19 minutes on to 8 o'clock. Indeed, a very sad situation. Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning, Doc. How are you?
I am alive and thankful. How about you?
Quiet, you know. Have a great day.
You too, man.
Right. No, I want to bring back that subject of the laser machine. I think I did ask you to take on an assignment to get to the bottom of this. But I'm wondering why no one in the authorities is responding. I would want to hear what the minister or the people in the Ministry of Health have to say about this machine. You know, I mean to say, we bring this thing over and over and over. Nobody's saying anything. But when you look at when you go to the eye clinic, you see the amount of people there, and we all are languishing for our surgery. Some of us laser and some of us blades. Could you please try to get to the bottom of this? You know, we want to hear from the authorities. What is the status of this machine, and how soon can it be restored, or purchase a new one?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. The situation with the fire truck and water been happening since I was born is nothing new, Mr. Ruler. No one to be blamed. 17 minutes on to 8 o'clock. 435-2041. That's the number. And I am going to, seek authorization from the relevant authorities and see what, we as a team on Good Morning Grenada can, maybe set up something and reach out to people who are distressed. Morning, Ising. How you doing? Nice to hear from you. Yep. Peter Joseph, good morning. What's up? Veronica Sandy says, good morning. Gordon, Innocent Joseph, GBN, Grenada, Carrico, Pidi Martini, good morning. Jennifer Lawrence is also in the building. Good morning, Jennifer. How are you? Hope you're doing fine. Michelle Church says, good morning. Give them one of the Chinese. Oh, you mean in terms of the houses? Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Gordon. How are you, sir?
I am alive and thankful. How about you?
Pretty quiet. Looking at a sunny morning.
Okay.
A blessed day, good day. Mr. Gordon, first of all, Let me endorse what John Rulo was saying a little earlier on. Preventative maintenance. If that is a high deficiency in our way of living, it means that we are not, one, forward-thinking, two, proactive, three, we're not conscious of the environment in which we live and what is its strengths and weaknesses, and most of all, what role we play in the day-to-day life and living of ourselves, our neighbors, and the country as a whole. So it is of utmost importance for us as a people, individually and collectively, to pause for a minute on a continuous basis, whether you do it in the morning early before you set your day, or in the night before you clock into your bed. But spend a couple minutes, review your thoughts, your action, and your thinking for the past hours, and possible to come. So that if you do it in the night while you're resting, that will be in your subconscious. And you would there and you would resignate. So when you awake in the morning and you refresh what you're actually doing there, when you look into it again for the upcoming hours of your daily activity, it would further strengthen the resolve in going forward. So again and again, I would say, wake up, get living. Not rolling on your bed with your eyes open and you say wake up. Get living. So we would always, by our sense of reasoning, by our sense of thinking, and in the freedom to act, we would be positive in our behavior and our outlook. As adults, it is of utmost importance so that the little ones that is in your environment will see how you operate, and they live and learn by that. Have a great day, Mr. Gordon.
You too, Pro. Have a good one yourself, all right? Have a great day yourself. Folks, it's 13 minutes on to 8 o'clock. Let's take a commercial break, a final commercial break, and then we come back and do the wrap.
Join us as we celebrate Get Grenada Swimming's 10th anniversary. Dive into a world of adventure and discovery from the 2nd to the 6th of April 2024 between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. Get Grenada Swimming is offering swim lessons for children 5 years and older and adults as well. There are swim lessons being offered in all parishes in Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Each lesson lasts for 1 hour. We have instructors eager to teach you. Swimming is not just a skill. It is a gateway to confidence, fun, and a healthier lifestyle. Our lessons are designed to welcome all, from beginners to those looking to improve their strokes. All lessons are free. Register today via www.getgrenadaswimming.com.
served Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada and St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Are you looking for a reliable, affordable, and customer-friendly pharmacy? Look no further than Hills and Valley Pharmacy, the nation's leading healthcare products and services provider. We are committed to serving you at convenient locations. Find an extensive and affordable selection of prescription and over-the-counter drugs and medical supplies at Church Street, Hillsborough, Carriacou, Jubilee Street, Grenville, St. Andrew, near the bus terminal, and Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George. Our committed team is always available to offer valuable assistance for managing your health and wellness. Discover the additional benefits of our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street and our Medcare Center on Grenville Street, where we provide in-house physiotherapy, massage therapy, doctor consultations, and eye care services. Our commitment is to satisfy all your healthcare needs, including competitive prices, loyalty rewards, and special discounts for seniors. Contact us at 435-6904 and WhatsApp 535-4734. Choose Hills and Valley Pharmacy. Remember, your health is our business.
In the arena of life, we find strength, determination, and the will to overcome. As athletes, we strive not just to win, but to excel in every endeavor. For as it is written in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 24 to 25, let us strive for excellence, not just on the field, but in life. For in our efforts, we find the strength to conquer and the courage to endure. Keep pushing forward. Keep striving. Keep believing.
Welcome back to the final 9 minutes of the program. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning, Innocent. How are you doing, Dudu?
I am doing fine. How about you?
A day holding on, man.
Nice.
Yeah, no. I remember growing up in a Catholic home, and this 40 days fasting really used to work for us, because Innocent, we stay away from meat. I didn't even know the reason, but no meat cooking home, and we obey. We didn't go over by the neighbor and get peace. We obey. We don't vex. If news going once a day we radio open just to listen to the news. After the news, radio closed until news time again. And to me, right now, looking at it, abstaining from certain things for 40 days, I do believe that was a healing for our system, our body.
Okay.
But growing up, I didn't understand what and what. But I find it used to work. And, I'm sorry for the people that can get the money from the credit union. I'm so sorry. But I like how they're handling it. The people who should get the money and they didn't get it, they're handling it very nice because they don't take the street and they don't think. But something in this country, somebody, some higher force teaching us how to handle the money because remember Ivan? Yeah. Hurricane? We had all the money and we couldn't use it. I remember a man gave us a joke. He said, growing up, he had a man in this village have a lot of money. money first. So the man come down and he don't want the money. So he full up a wheelbarrow, he open the gate and he leave the wheelbarrow outside. And next man wanted to joke some dirt. So he said, let me go down the road and ask my partner to borrow me a wheelbarrow. When he going down, he see this wheelbarrow of money by the road. The man just take the wheelbarrow, he empty all the money on the ground, and he take the wheelbarrow and go and joke the dirt. So you see something telling us about money. I find some of us, we have the money like we God. We have, but we're still looking for more. So I think something telling us about this money. Have a good morning, my brother.
You too, my dear. Have a good one. Folks, it's 6 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, morning, morning to the listeners and the viewers.
Welcome to the program.
I think what is lacking is a sense of civility, one, a sense of responsibility, and also a commitment to community and civility. And you don't get that overnight. Don't forget, since 1983, we've been creating a dysfunctional society, because that has to suit those who would benefit from having invaded us. And there's no accident that the same thing that other countries have experienced, we are experiencing it at different intensity. And until we become conscious and ask a pertinent question, right question, and ask ourselves, what is our role in continuing that the demise or the destruction or the dismantling of our society, we will continue. Earlier on, you were saying something, but when you look at it, and the last caller talked about the role of money, we've been encouraged over the years to see money as the panacea or the arbiter or our salvation. We've been taught about competition, consumption. We've not been taught about cooperation, collaboration, integration, all these things that help us, the values that would help to sustain us. And also another thing about learning, lifelong learning. People think learning is something that you do in school alone, and they think it's just about facts and figures. But it's much more about life. And as one of your callers talk about being aware of our community, our society, the environment around us, how we care for it, how we relate to each other in it. I mean, people still burn as they want, they still dump as they want. We are seen to be a careless, helpless, society who wait for the first opportunity to rub from each other. We have the issue of predel, larceny, and so on. All of these things we have to arrest. And we blame each other, we point fingers, whether what is our role, or where have we failed in ensuring that we hold each other accountable. Thank you very much. I don't want anybody to accuse me of not.
All right, thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much. It's 4 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Why am I saying 7? Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, good morning to Mr. Innocent. How are you doing?
I'm good. Welcome, Culture Man.
Yeah, well, Mr. Innocent, yesterday I went up in a Abyssal garden, some lands up on the court side of me. And I was down for a week about a few because I get a cut in on my feet. So when I went up yesterday, I leave my poison in my land. Now, when I tell you, these figures were like 14, 15, and 16 hands I'm going down there. You know, the person pass and they just cut the whole bunch. You say, if they take 2.5 fig was fine. If they take half a fig was fine. And again, I have some dwarf up there. They cut all the grab of jelly and go with it. You find that right? So when some farmers take the law in their hand, but I would not take the law in my hand, we will still get punishment inside it from the police force. You know, last week, a guy get chopped in his land. He once stole the other man's, he once keep the other man, the next farmer, land, you know. And this farmer now, he will get a lot of wrong still. But God bless it. The farmer did not kill the man.
Okay.
They might charge him for whatever, if. And I want to say good morning to our beautiful young lady, Dr. Human. She lives at Roseville Junction. Good friend, you have a blessed day.
All right, Coach, man.
Yeah, later, Mr. Innocent. Bye.
Have a good one. Folks, it's 2 minutes away from 8 o'clock, and if we get a final call, let's see if we can accommodate this final call. Good morning.
Good morning, Gordon.
How are you?
I'm good.
All right, you have to be real brief.
As we celebrate Holy Week, I pray that we keep it. And I just want to ask us as parents to involve the children in a meaningful way to do a little planting. The vegetables are so expensive, we can have to cut costs when we encourage them to do what our parents do before. Do a little tire behind a piece of pan, and do some little save and time, and let them get involved in a meaningful way. Okay. God bless you. I thank you, Mr. Gordon.
Thank you very much. Have a good one, caller. This is where we end the program for today. Thanks again to all those of you who participated and contributed in one way or the other. Remember the folks from Shantimel in your prayers, and if there's any way you can reach out in a benevolent way, go on out and do what the Lord lays on your heart. Have yourself a wonderful day now. I love you. Bye-bye.